now on something called the Cynon Trail. Now this leads behind Hirwaun, so I'm parked at Hirwaun Library. Excuse me if I'm a bit breathless, this is my first run after a bit of a viral infection. So here we are now, and you'll see we're heading on basically on or parallel to the railway line that leads from Aberdeen to Hirwaun, which is defunct at the moment, although there is talk of reopening the line up here. Obviously, this all tied in, I believe, to Tower Colliery and stuff, so getting coal and everything down the valley to Cardiff and shipped out, obviously. So you see it's a not difficult track, probably wheelchair accessible. Would be better in drier weather. Even here, probably from my front steps, it's a little damp, but it's not too bad. So this is my first test of the Pocket 2 camera. This is the HDR video mode. So I'm hoping let's put it back on the track a bit. There we go. See the camera angle a bit. I get to learn how to use this. I think I'm in follow mode. So sort of wheelchair accessible. There's a couple of bits so you can see where it can be a bit problematic. And this should eventually lead to, I believe, Penderyn. I think sort of the winding line, if I remember rightly. The other thing I'm hoping I always upload this is allegedly the DJI software can program and connect data and put in maps and heart rate and stuff. So I'm hoping by the time I upload the clips I take today into some sort of cohesive whole, there are some more extra data as well. This is just basically a test pilot in a lot of ways. Not just for the DJI, but the fact that I'm still recovering from viral infection. It's knocked me for 6 a bit, so I've been out since last Sunday, and last Sunday was a short run at very low speed, and it showed. So now that it's still accessible to an electric wheelchair, but ideally this would be summer in the dry weather, would make it really easy to pass. You can leave about a kilometre in. You see, it's a reasonably popular route. Bear in mind it is mid-January. Temperature, I believe it's about 7 degrees. Weather conditions are quite dry. Now, the route I planned just take me to Penderyn, beyond Penderyn, down the path to Dennis Rock, and back to Hirwaun. via Rhigos. I don't think I'm going to follow that exact route. I literally am taking today like a sort of test out to see how ready I am to get back into it. I go there 50 miles in April, so I have to balance my needs against my ability right now. Right in the middle, I'll probably stop this with the recording and pick it back up with a close up in Penderyn over the underlying terrain changes in it to warrant documenting for Philip. Right, I'm about 2.6 kilometres in, so that's just over a mile and a half, and here's where there's a slight difference. There's a little property here, Kissing Gate, I'm not sure what these are, still wheelchair accessible. Looks like the gate is openable as well, so we're going through here now, and give me a second, I shall post to my map. Back my map telling me to take the right fork, but we have a sign here, quite an old sign, look at it. So very few people around, so I don't feel quite so bad talking to myself. There's a nice bridge down there. Can we see? There we go. Right down there, there's a bridge. There's an old footpath sign. It's the A478 cycle path. And actually we're taking this one, not the one to Penderyn farm. The sign's a bit white, but here we go. Right, as you can see, yeah, I just had my first custom alert. I'll send a new reach in a minute now. I'll do it when I finish recording. Right, so again, still reasonably wheelchair accessible. A lot will depend on the underlying conditions on the day, but on a dry summer's day, this should be quite accessible. So, like I said, this is apparently, I think it's called the middle line, and where I assume quarried materials from Penderyn were transported down to Hirwaun and then onwards. I think we're no longer on the old railway line. I think that terminated quite a bit earlier then. Now the route I've planned, like I said, does take me to more Penderyn, then Pontneddfechan, and then back to Rhigos. A total of 25k, which is about 16 miles. Depending on how I feel, I don't think I'll be doing that route today. I'm following parts of it. I'll probably do an out and back at some stage. When I feel ready, I'll turn around. I'm not going particularly at a fast pace today. The target today isn't distance or pace or anything. It's just me to get back in the habit of going out. Temperature's 8 degrees C, so it's not too bad. I'm just a little bit warm by the weather. I'm feeling it. But well, I suppose I need too cold. Later on I can always put my jacket back in my rucksack. Right, here's where it starts to get a bit possibly a bit dodgy for wheelchairs. I'll stop recording here and pick up the pace a little bit later on. Okay, I'll start recording again. The route said there was more off-road than it was. Not much, but about 400 yards I've got on the road. But as you see right in front of me here is the Lamb Hotel, and on the right is the sign for Cwm Cadlan, and this is the path I took before Christmas, heading to Penderyn. I'm going to butcher this one now. Penderyn and Cynon, whatever it was. Anyway, so my route now is going here, and what I'm ending up doing eventually is going along some back roads at Penderyn. I should then head up. I don't know if you can see in the distance there. See if I can zoom. I'm still going to use this gimbal. Right, there is Mount Penderyn. So, and again, my route is it going around that and then heading towards Pontneddfechan, Dinas Rock, and back up to the Rhigos. But as I said, because this is my first run after some illness, I really haven't yet decided how far I'm going to go, whether I'll do the route, whether I'll sort of turn back around at a certain point. I'm not feeling too bad. I've taken my red coat off because I was sweltering, so my body heat regulation is a little bit broken, but I'm not feeling too bad. I haven't coughed my lungs up yet, so that's a good sign. So as you can see, we're heading up now. Now, as I recall on the street view when I recce'd this, there's quite a beautiful set of roads that head down towards the waterfalls, and the Four Waterfalls Walk at Penderyn. So there's quite a bit of pardon me, places to go from here. If you're interested, there's parking in Hirwaun behind the library, which is free, and that literally is 400 yards from the Cynon Trail. So any good app like All Trails, you know, Gaia, that sort of thing, you should be able to find some directions and find yourself a nice walk if you fancy doing this yourself. As you can see, this is where it sort of becomes a bit disabled friendly and vulture filled, but there's a pavement, it's a bit accessible, and when I go into here, Penderyn, I'll be on the road, as you can see there, B road, and it is quite steep, so really don't expect much. And I've got a white van coming behind me, so let them go past. Oh, sorry, white car. Right. Okay, here's the climb. So this is Dolganog. It still freaks me out a bit to see a Cardiff postcode all the way up here around the Cantaf, but there you go. So that's the play area. That's where I've just come from. So now we come all the way back up here. I guess somebody come behind me again. The beauty of this is it's so open, I can hear traffic. So I'm just under 4.5 kilometres in, so I'm coming up for 3 miles from Hirwaun. If you want to take the walk from Hirwaun up to Penderyn, there's plenty of places you can explore. Where I showed you the Cwm Cadlan sign, there's a unclassified minor road that leads to Garynant, and from there you can explore the aforementioned Fan Cynfan Ysgafanoug and Myndiglog. There's also a set of waterfalls there like Sacred, but apparently they're quite difficult to get to on the ground, even though the waterfall in the area has the name Sacred, which apparently means dry. The areas are actually quite waterlogged. So my feeling on that is I'm going to wait till summer. Ideally, if I'd known about that, I'd gone this summer after a prolonged dry spell. Okay, somebody else waiting to go past. Hang on. I've recce this route, like I said, on Google Street View. It's quite pretty. It's a glimpse here, just sort of a pre-industrial history of South Wales. Although areas like this, such as Penderyn, quite early on got used for quarrying, etc. So most areas of South Wales got hit in some shape or form. So I think there's a pub here now. It's an old church to my right. Right, let's readjust the gimbal. There goes right back in there. So yes, there's a pub, a Red Lion, and around about the church. There we go. So there's the church. Church wall. Turn the gimbal around. Told her I'm learning how to use this. Right, here we go. Another old, very old British road sign for Hirwaun, but also Pontneddfechan and Rhigos. I said I'm going towards Rhigos technically. Around I gone till the right turn. So I'm going to go down this for a while, and in a little while I turn off the road into a footpath. So there we go, and there's the view up to Penderyn, up there, and here's the road. I'll carry on for a while up this till I turn off the footpath. So again, I'm going to close the recording here because it's more the same. I'll pick it up again when terrain changes. Right, so I'm just 5 kilometres in, which I did in just under 40 minutes. That's 8 minutes a kilometre, which considering I'm a bit compromised, I'll take. It's not particularly been a lot of climb, only 160 odd metres, so this is going to be a particularly ascent heavy thing, I don't think, though it depends how much exploring I do around Penderyn. And as you can see, I'm on the outskirts of it and around it. Obviously this is not wheelchair accessible, unfortunately, Phil, so our journey would end here. But again, if you're trail running, this is a lovely little route. I can provide the route on Plotter Route if anyone's interested. You may not want to do the whole route and just cut it up into sections or whatever. The route I planned is 25k long, but like I said, I really don't know how much I'm going to do today. I have no target. My only target was to get out and get going, which I've managed, so everything else is a bonus. It's amazing how lazy you feel after a week of not doing anything, but I was in no state to do anything earlier this week. First couple of days off sick in work that I've had since, well, I think 2017. They changed the work systems, recording sick about then, and my boss said it's fallen off the edge of the system, so I'm quite happy with that. I went in Monday and I shouldn't have, because I'd had really bad intercostal muscle pains on a Sunday night and woke Philippa up, so I don't think she was too happy about. Woke myself up, I also wasn't very happy about. And basically, the only war cry there was all the painkillers. So after dosing myself out of meds, which I'm still doing, anti-inflammatories and decongestants, today is the first day in about a week that I actually feel human. So I'll take that as a bonus. As you see, we're climbing now. There we go, that's where I've just come from, is down there. Loads of birds of prey in the distance. You see it's quite a beautiful little area to come to. I would recommend it. I discovered this really totally by accident. I started a couple of runs based in Cynon, and again, if you're interested, there's a car park at the community centre there that's free to use, and from there you can explore the Taff Trail. And in the past I've done the Taff Trail there up towards Pontneddfechan, in the gorge down below, following, I think it's Taff, isn't it, that one, because Penderyn's the other side if I remember rightly. Anyway, and then on the map I saw Penderyn, which is the woods to the, let's guess right, to the west of Merthyr, above there. There's a couple of waterfalls there. There's some Forestry Commission land, and then you head towards Garynant. I know I knew it was there, I've been here before of course. I'd forgotten about there's a unclassified minor road that leads from Garynant to Penderyn, and I explored that this year, and explored, like I said, I'm going to punish myself again. Fan Canfon Ysgafanoug, Cadafau, Mundaglog. Managed a quick sort of recce down into Cwmcadlan Nature Reserve, but it was a bit damp. You can see here it's quite damp, there's a lot of reeds. But yeah, I'm glad you're putting up this video on me ranting and raving and rambling. But I've been meaning to get a camera like this for a while. I feel like I can do these things vicariously through me, other people can see where I go. And you know, if it encourages just one person to go out and explore, you know, some of the absolutely fantastic areas that we live in, then all well and good. Now, Mole Penderyn isn't very high. I think it's about, I'll have to look in my route. I'm sure it's below 400 metres. So it's not a mountain as such as a hill. But the beauty of this route is that you head towards the Four Waterfalls walk. And again, typically in the past what I've done with these, I've plotted routes, but I've marked on the routes areas where I may decide to go off route and sort of explore, but have the route so I can know way back, because obviously all these areas are new to me, and without GPS on the map I'd be lost. So let's pick up the pace again now. It's a bit flat. I'm probably today going to go round Mole Penderyn and then come back a route I took before. As I said, I'm not really too stressed about distance, pace, time, heart rate zone, anything like that today. The challenge of the day is to get out, and yeah, look at that, the sun. It's a beautiful day. Not particularly super warm, but not cold. There's been a trace of drizzle every now and then, so it's not challenging, it's not difficult, but it's nice. So right, I'm going to get this gate now, carry further along, and I'll pick this up a bit later. Probably when I've decided whether I'm going to carry on this route as intended or basically go around Mol Penderyn and come back through that way, okay? So, catch you in a bit. Okay, I'm just coming up for 8 kilometres in. I came down off Mol Penderyn. I didn't record the descent mainly because it wasn't particularly steep, it wasn't particularly muddy, it wasn't particularly wet, but it was just enough for the 3 to make it so that I'd rather, you know, focus on getting down. It's not particularly difficult. Like I said, if you're doing this track yourself, just be careful a bit. As you can see, it's a bit muddy. I've got my last Sportivas on, which are reasonably good in this sort of mud. So I should be heading down now. I just passed a sign for the one waterfall and a bunch of people on their way up there. Obviously I'm the contrary one who's going the other way. I should be heading down towards Dinas Rock. Now I'm not sure if I've put in up ahead points on this route. I don't think I have. So just look at my watch a minute if you don't mind. No, I haven't. Sometimes I put up ahead points on the route to make it a bit easier to find where I am. I haven't done it with this one. This one was a little bit I don't say quickly put together, but it was just a quick sort of analysis of a possible route. This was more exploratory than anything, mainly because I wasn't too sure if some of these paths were passable. So I'm going to take my time here. It's always muddy in this area, and there we are, we're looking down onto Pontneddfechan by the look of it, a little Dinas Rock. You won't hear it because I've got a microphone under my jumper, but there's a lot of water here down there in the water noise. Right, as you can see, it is remarkably nasty terrain, so I am probably going to cut this recording short so I can get down to the bottom without breaking my neck. And there you can see quite a bit of a rock formation over there then. So this is the route I'm going now, and I'm going to head towards, probably the rest of this isn't going to be very interesting, to be truthful with you. See how my battery is. This probably has been used for a while, so I could take this, it'll probably take a few charges before it's up to full battery life. There's a car behind me, so right, here I go. Select this turn. So as you can see now, I'm heading down. I'm now about 9k in. To be honest, most of the interesting stuff on this one is going to be the first half. Second half, I'm going to be going up through, again, if I remember the route possibly, it's going to be along basically little B roads. It's not going to be very interesting, so I don't think I'll make much footage on the way back, even if I decide to turn around and, you know, retrace my steps. But yeah, it's quite a nice, interesting little path here. So I'll carry on for this a little while now and see where this takes me. Okay, I don't know if you can see there. I'm going underneath the Hirwaun to Neath Road here. I'm at just over 9k in, so I'm going to go under the road. Looking at my route, I head back towards Hirwaun on the Rhigos road. And what I originally planned to increase the distance was at one stage to head back up towards more Penderyn and go down that way. Now, because this is the first run back after a while and I'm not feeling 100%, I shall probably cut it short there and cut across and head back to the car that way. But I'm not going to complain too much because I've done reasonably well. Right. Okay, I've got two choices of route here. I'm about to find out if I've taken the wrong one. No, I think I've taken the right one. Okay, so as I said, I'm under the road here. Quite a big road between Hirwaun and Neath. Cut quite a lot of the journey off for those who know. Anyone who remembers the old way would know it was a bloody nightmare. So we're underneath here. Oh, look at that. Sun's out. I have no idea what the video quality is like. This may be a complete bust, but this, like I said, is a test at the moment to see how I'm getting on with it. I'll upload this video, probably do a couple of edits to it, and over time get better and better. They won't quite be so diary like. I think the rest might be just highlights and views and peaks and whatever. But it'll be interesting to cut. Ooh, junction of two rivers there. My wife, who is ever the geologist and environmentalist, will be very good at educating me at this section here. So let's get past all the mud so you can get a better view. There we go. So the river goes on down. Okay. I don't know about the river going down there. It's pretty much a river by here. Right, okay. Back onto dryish land. Okay, so it's our section at 9k. As I said, I am going to do quite a bit of the route, but I am going to cut a bit of it off so I can go out again tomorrow a little bit more distance. I'm certainly not going to hit my weekly target this week, but I'm not going to worry. So okay, catch you in a little while. Okay, so that's something a little interesting, isn't it? That's 10.1k in, and yeah, it's bit waterlogged. Again, I'll have to look on the map now when I get back to identify where it is. But I'm not long past the road that goes over the river and the tributary of the two rivers. Right, so carrying on, just so I'd add a little bit extra there. Right, to take a slight detour off the route. The route was going up through Rhigos there on the road, and there's a small pavement by the side of it. Now a bit further down there was a path, but it looked like it went through where somebody's kept little buses and stuff, so it doesn't look like it's public access anymore, so I decided against it. But coming up here, I saw this marked as a bridleway. So what I'm hoping to do is anything that takes me closer to Hirwaun is good. My distance at the moment, let's have a look, I'll have to play my watch a minute, I'm at 13k at the moment, 12.31. See how we go. Like I said, it's actually quite nice, this. Don't know how much road noise I think you get. My microphone's on my t-shirt underneath my jumper, so hopefully you'll just get my voice. There's not much road noise. There's siren, police siren down that way to the left of me, but here it is peaceful, and these are the things I look for. And there's lots of these sort of little paths hidden in most little areas of Wales. Old drovers roads, old railway lines, old colliery roads, things that have passed into myth almost in the last 50 years through lack of use. Oh, I'm sweating so bad. Probably something you don't want to know, but yeah, I can see I'm still a little bit under the weather. That's disgusting. Anyway, so we carry on down now. I'll have a look in the map in a minute, but I'm going to carry on this route a minute, see how we get on. It's actually quite beautiful. One really good resource for scouting out paths I find is the National Library of Scotland have a load of archive maps, and you can overlay modern satellite maps onto older maps. Now you may be asking, what's the point of that? Well, very often on satellite maps you'll see what looks like the remains of paths and traces, and if you go back 50, 100, 150 years, you'll often find that they were like industrial use, quarry roads, droves roads, whatever, and so sometimes it's a really good way of finding new paths to explore that are pretty much hidden in plain sight now. There's loads of them, for example, around Ebervale and Bermow and most of the valley towns really. Okay, enough of my wandering. There's a caravan over there in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if this will turn now. Let's see if I can get a gimbal on it. There we go, should be able to see it there. Not suspicious in the slightest, of course. Right, I'm gonna... Oh, there's another building by here. Strange, very strange. Right, okay, let's carry on up here. This should hopefully get me part the way back to Hirwaun. Now the weather's clouding over a bit. I'm not expecting, looks like, that's a bit unusual. There we go. And that's at, I'm at 12.67k here. Right, okay, I got a feeling I'm going to get a little bit of rain now. So I'm going to stop this video and catch up in a little while. Okay, well, last update for today. Mainly because that last update I did at 12k, it was a beautiful little path that went down, and I suddenly realised I'm back on the route I was on. So I'm going to retrace my steps now up towards Penderyn, but Archie hitting it, and then down through Pontneddfechan to Hirwaun and back to the car. So this will be the last update because I'm just basically retracing old steps. So glad you could come on this journey with me. I'm definitely not feeling dead, but I'm certainly going to enjoy a nice hot cup of tea when I get in. So have a great day, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye. This one's for you, Philippa. I swear that we've seen this before, but you can see, look at that rock formation. And I think we've been here before. We'll have to come here again. I think this is somewhere right here is the walked accessible. Yeah, somewhere right here is the walked accessible waterfall. Okay, I'm 16.6 kilometres in, and I've taken a bit of a detour because I saw this path. And this may prove to be one of my bad ideas, but allegedly I should be heading towards Hirwaun on the other side. And the path looks like on the map that it joins up. But of course the road layout has all changed, so this may yet prove to be a very bad idea. But there is a house there with cars, which suggests that they've got car access. I haven't climbed any gates yet, there's been stiles, so as far as I'm aware it's public access. I am about to find out if this was a great idea or a terrible idea. And given my track record, let's lay odds, is it? Okay, right, I'm going to hang up now because I'm going to see if I eventually do end up back somewhere sensible. I'm hoping I'll end up on the other side of Hirwaun, and it'll be about a 21k run. Now there is a road. This is looking promising. Okay, if you hear from me again, then I've obviously made it to the car. Bye.